Welcome back to Network Africa. One of Europe's biggest shelters for asylum seekers is bursting at the seams, with over 3,000 migrants awaiting the lengthy procedure to receive Italian legal documents that will enable them to restart their lives. The Caraminio Reception Center is situated about 50 kilometers from the eastern port of Catania on the road to the smaller town of Gela on Sicily's southern coast. It should hold a maximum of 2,000 people, but it has often had to cope with up to 4,000 asylum seekers.
On arrival, the would-be refugees are told that their stay will be 6 months, but delays in the procedures for requesting asylum mean that some have resided here much longer. The center is a massive waiting room, and many complain there is nothing to do, and they feel confined by the isolation and overcrowding. Crimes such as rape have also taken place within its fences. But for some of the migrants inside, life is still much better than it was back home.
This camp here, they are taking good care of me. I feel love. They assist me in everything I want to do. So I've never felt love before. They have never treated. My family have never treated me like this ever since I was born.
Yusuf left Nigeria because he says his family was ashamed of his disability. He says he had been kept locked away inside his home. He arrived in Italy in August 2016 after being carried on the back of his friend through much of his journey to Libya, where he caught the boat to cross the Mediterranean.
What I wish to do for myself is that I want to work for myself. I don't want to become a liability. So I want to learn how to operate a computer.
Eritrean migrant Selam Ayalu gave birth to a premature baby boy, Emmanuel, soon after arriving at the camp. She makes no mention of the father of her child, but many women have reported being raped during their travel to Europe. Ayalu says she's grateful to have received medical treatment, but she wants to leave the camp and has no idea how long she will have to stay. I had a really difficult journey here, also because I was pregnant. But thanks to Kara, who supported me from when I arrived and helped me to have all the checkups necessary and ensured I had everything I needed, I was able to give birth to my son. In Italy, some 40 territorial commissions evaluate asylum requests and interview applicants. Their decisions can be appealed to the court system, but rejections can leave migrants in legal limbo for years. Judges say the legal appeals are overwhelming Italy's civil justice system, already among the slowest in Europe, and pulling them away from other cases. The government has said it will streamline the legal process, but it has not done so yet.
Well, let's talk football. Ghana's Andre Ayew surpassed his father's record by scoring the goal that beat Uganda 1-0 in their Group D match at the Africa Cup of Nations. The West Ham winger slotted in a penalty on 32 minutes after captain Asamoah Gyan had been pulled back. In the second game, Mali held 7-time champions Egypt to a goalless draw. Meanwhile, legendary Egyptian goalkeeper El Hadri made history after he came on from the bench for the game against Mali, which ended in a goalless draw to earn his 148th cap after first-choice goalkeeper El Shenawi got injured. The 44-year-old is widely regarded as one of Africa's best-ever goalkeepers, winning the domestic league title 8 times, as well as the Domestic Cup and African Champions League on 4 occasions each. Egypt has added ex-football star Mohamed Aturika to a terror list for his alleged links with the banned Muslim Brotherhood. Mr. Aturika is accused of financially supporting the Brotherhood, which Egypt considers a terrorist organization. In 2012, he endorsed a successful presidential bid by Mohamed Morsi, a Brotherhood member. Now, the move by the 2008 BBC African Footballer of the Year alienated some of his fans. Any person named on the country's terror list is subject to a travel ban and faces having their passport and assets frozen. However, Mr. Aturika's lawyer, Mohammed Osman, says the move is contrary to the law, adding that his client has not been convicted or formally notified of any of the charges against him. Zimbabwe city officials have banned street vendors in the capital Harare to try and contain the spread of typhoid, which authorities say was first reported in December and has killed 2 people. Typhoid infections are caused by ingesting food or water contaminated by a bacteria called Salmonella typhi, which is found in human waste. The disease thrives in conditions where sanitation and hygiene are poor.
Harare authorities say street vending poses a risk because it cannot be monitored for hygiene standards. Zimbabwe's Minister of Health and Childcare, Dr. David Perentawa, adds that there are 20 confirmed cases of the disease.
We are aware that most of the cases are actually from Harare City, and we're pleased that there is a very marked downward trend. But as long as we have conditions which breed typhoid, which means unhygienic conditions, poor waste disposal, poor sewage coverage, poor water, clean water coverage, those are the conditions that breed these diarrheal diseases.
2 years ago, more than 40 people in Harare were hospitalized due to typhoid. Some analysts blame the outbreak on the frequent and prolonged droughts, including the dry spell linked to the El Niño weather phenomenon last year, and wreaked havoc on Zimbabwe's water supplies. Harare city officials say the ban on street vendors is temporary, but gave no indication as to how long it will be in place.
We've done a ban on all food vending in the city because we realize people are selling food items from the pavements and from unsanitary conditions. So as a measure to try and control typhoid, we've banned food vending in Harare, temporarily though.
In an economy where less than 20% of the population is in formal employment and the economic growth is flatlining, one of the only options for survival is street trade. The vendors say the ban is a blow to their livelihood and accuse the city authorities of being part of the problem because they do not collect rubbish. At the height of Zimbabwe's economic crisis in 2008, nearly 4,000 people died from a cholera outbreak, mostly in the capital. Most of the major cities in Zimbabwe face water shortages caused mainly by aging infrastructure and lack of money to buy water treatment chemicals.
And that's it on Network Africa. Many thanks for watching. I'm Temi Tokwe Fagbemi.